Good morning. Apparently I had a button pressed on my Go XLR. What's going on? Good to see you guys. Happy Friday. Hopefully it's payday for a lot of you guys. Man, I almost talked like a chipmunk. That was hysterical. Good thing I can hear myself. What's going on, Mr. Geek of all trades? Good to see you, buddy. We have DJ Mines in the house, Carl Code, Dumpster Fire, Steven Cicero, Fully Electric. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, David. David, why do I keep trying to call you David G? I feel like this is David G, and I just keep trying to add a G at the end of your name. But David, good to see you, buddy. Retro Mike, good to see you, buddy. All right, everybody else that I may have missed, Leo Lustig, good to see you. Just if you guys want to be announced, at me in the chat, I guess. Carl Coe, my man, good to see you. All right, let's see how we are looking like today for the market. Let's check it out. Bitcoin just under 30k. Wow, I didn't know it dropped below it again. First time looking at it this morning. We have 1890 ETH, almost 1900, not too bad. XRP is looking at 77 cents. Man, I really wish they would like fix this. It's so hard to zoom in on this stuff. ETC looking at 18 bucks. Dogecoin 7 cents. Litecoin 92 bucks. The halving's coming up in less than 2 weeks, people. Less than 2 weeks, about 10 days or so now, maybe 11. Not too shabby. All right, what is the daily earner? Let's see. On the day, Maker again up 12.5%. Man, what's going on with this coin? This thing is popping off. Rank number 40. Interesting. All right, let's see what we're looking at over here. Fear and Greed Index looking at 50. Not too bad. More or less neutral. If you guys have any questions, feel free to at me in the chat. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap. Let's see. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, XRP, BNB, USD Coin, Lotto Staked Ether, Cardano, Solana, Dogecoin. Damn, look at Litecoin dropped another peg down to 14th. Crazy. Sorry, trying to enjoy my coffee. Overboard Tech says evening. Breaks it up for me. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. All right, so we're gonna go over some FedNow stuff, FedNow news, or just whatever, few small videos about it. Then a lot of XRP drama, some crypto news BS today, and that's it. So if you guys have anything specific you want to look at, please feel free, just add me in the chat. And yeah, without further ado, let's listen to this FedNow thing. So I found this lady, Lisa Remillard. I don't even know who this is, but I'm assuming she's with the news channel or something. But anyways, she kind of breaks down what FedNow is, I believe, real quick. And it's vertical format. Kind of sucks, but is what it is. Let's hear what she has to say, and then we'll jump into the next video. Feel free to add me in the chat if you guys got any questions.
FedNow, now officially up and running. The Federal Reserve announced today the new instant payment system called FedNow is live. 35 early adopting banks and credit unions, as well as the Department of Treasury's Bureau of Fiscal Service, are already on board and using it. I told you all about how FedNow works in this video back in April. It's pinned on my page. I highly encourage you to go and watch it. But the short version is FedNow is a system. It's not a currency. You do not sign up for FedNow. Your bank signs up for FedNow. It's a way for banks who qualify to talk to each other and the Federal Reserve in real time to facilitate three things: instant transaction settlements, 24/7, 365 available transfers, and instant payment confirmation for both the sender and the recipient.
Sounds a lot like they want to be crypto. That's what it sounds like to me.
FedNow is a big deal because it's the first and only digital instant payment system created and backed by the U.S. government.
I'm happy she followed that up, created and backed by the U.S. government, because I was going to say there's no chance this is the first one.
So what does FedNow do for you? It processes your payments in real time, one by one, opposed to how they've always been processed in the past. In bulk, at specific times, on specific days. This real-time processing dramatically increases the speed that money moves from you to your payees and from your payees back to you. Basically, if your bank uses FedNow, you would no longer have to wait a few business days or wait till a holiday or a weekend is over to get your money right then and there. It's just there instantly. And if you're trying to pay a bill, you can pay it immediately and you don't have to wait for it to process as long as the money's actually in your account. Now, as I said, as of today, 35 institutions, the Department of Treasury's Bureau of Fiscal Service, and 16 service providers have FedNow up and running. But it'll likely take a while for all the rest of the banking institutions in this country to get on the network and offer real-time payment services to customers. The early adopters include banks like JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, and US Bank, just to name a few. But if you want the full list of all the early adopter banks, you can sign up for my Newsgirl News Roundup email, and I will email them out to you in tonight's edition.
Oh, wow. Thanks, lady. Yeah, well, that definitely sounds a lot like crypto. Gotcha, 100%. 100%. All right, let's listen to this now. Federal Reserve launches FedNow instant payment system. This is from CNBC television. A little bit better of a video, minute and 40 seconds long. Let's hear it.
In your bank account, the Federal Reserve announcing it has gone live with its new FedNow instant payment system, a system that should allow households and businesses to send payments and receive money immediately without those troubling 3-day holds on checks and waiting for payments to clear in the sender's account and waiting for the bank to open on Monday or after a holiday. The FedNow system is an instant payment system. It's available 24/7, 365 days a year.
Like Bitcoin.
To begin with, 35 banks and 16 service providers have already signed up. Those banks include things like JP Morgan and Wells Fargo, as well as smaller credit unions and other banks. Unclear if the banks are going to charge for this instant payment. They are charged, but they may or may not pass that along to consumers. Fed Chair Jay Powell saying in a press release, over time, as more banks choose to use this tool, the benefits to individuals and businesses will include enabling a person to immediately receive a paycheck or a company to instantly access funds when an invoice is paid. This doesn't eliminate the PayPals and the Venmos of the world or Zelle. Theoretically, they could use the FedNow system, which is a bank-to-bank system, to send payments, but it's unclear, guys, if those services now face a new challenge from banks of all sizes that can offer similar services. Sarah?
So real quick, you hear how he was saying like more and more banks will choose to use it. I guarantee you they're going to force more and more banks to use it, not the other way around, like, oh, it's you have a choice. That's not going to be a choice eventually.
But bottom line, faster payments, good for consumer, right, Steve?
I think so, Sarah. That's exactly right. I think you get there and you don't have those holds on the checks. Look, if you have money in your account and you send money to somebody else with an account, obviously they can take that money out, but there's actually a hold on that account. It's really for people who don't have that money on account. Say a small business guy who's doing a big project gets a payment, has to wait till that payment clears. It could really help them out.
That is kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest, waiting for like a big check to clear. Running my plumbing company, that was kind of that's a kick in the dick sometimes, to be honest. But I don't know. What's up, Mining King? Good to see you. Good morning. Welcome to the ass crack of dawn stream. Just kidding. It's early for you. It's not that early for me. It's 8 o'clock. Or I lied. Yes, it's 8 o'clock. 8:30. Almost forgot. All right, Crypto World. Let's see what they got to say. They kind of do a little news roundup of everything going on crypto. Again, this is late yesterday afternoon, but still relevant today. So let's hear it.
Today, SEC Chair Gary Gensler makes a pitch for more agency funding, in part to protect investors from the, quote, Wild West of crypto. The agency takes its first major step in deciding whether to approve the latest round of spot Bitcoin ETF applications. And after Ripple's partial win against the SEC, Custodia Bank CEO Caitlin Long discusses where regulation in the U.S. could be headed amid her company's legal battle with a different regulator.
Oh boy. Where are we heading? Crypto regulation.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Jordan Smith. Crypto prices are in the red today. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin dipped further below the $30,000 level. Ether dropped under the $1,900 mark, and Ripple's XRP token fell by 1.25%, almost exactly 1 week after the firm notched a landmark win in the SEC case over the cryptocurrency. Okay, let's talk about the top stories. SEC Chair Gary Gensler cited the, quote, Wild West of the crypto markets as part of his case to increase the agency's budget. As you know, the SEC has been increasing its efforts to crack down on crypto crime. Speaking before the U.S. Senate Committee on Appropriations yesterday, he asked lawmakers for tens of millions of dollars in extra funding, in part to protect investors from crypto markets, which he argued.
Gary Gensler looks like that guy holding the ring. I don't even know his name in the Lord of the Rings. What the hell's that guy? The precious one? I don't know his name. But dude, look at him. He's such a creep.
lawmakers for tens of millions of dollars in extra funding, in part to protect investors from crypto markets, which he argued are, quote, rife with noncompliance. During prepared remarks, Gensler noted that investors have put hard-earned assets at risk in the, quote, highly speculative asset class. And sticking with the SEC, the agency has accepted to review applications to create spot Bitcoin ETFs from 6 firms. Those include BlackRock, WisdomTree, Fidelity, Invesco, Bitwise, and VanEck. This marks the first step in the agency's process of deciding whether to approve the latest round of proposals. Next, a North Korean hacking group reportedly tried to steal digital assets by targeting crypto companies through their IT management providers. Earlier this month, JumpCloud, which provides IT services like single sign-on and API services, announced a security incident involving a sophisticated nation-state-sponsored threat actor, which was targeting a small and specific set of customers. Well, according to Reuters, those hackers were targeting crypto companies that used JumpCloud in an effort to steal digital currencies. North Korea has been linked to hundreds of millions of dollars in crypto hacks in recent months, including Axie Infinity's Ronin Bridge and DeFi platforms like Atomic Wallet. Last, Kuwait's primary financial regulator has prohibited the use of crypto for payments, investments, and mining activities. The Capital Markets Authority's prohibitions are in an effort to meet requirements set by the Financial Action Task Force to try and prevent money laundering and terrorist financing.
Smeagol, the man of the ring, coffee, beer, AI.
Mr. Rudpuss, thanks for the €249. You're awesome.
Crypto. The regulator warned that companies are not allowed to provide any kind of crypto-related services and placed an absolute ban on all digital asset mining. The notice said that anyone who violates the prohibitions would face penalties. All right, back to the US for our main story. Regulation in the crypto space has been in focus, especially following Ripple's partial win in the firm's fight with the SEC. Well, Crypto World's Talia Kaplan spoke with Caitlin Long, the founder and CEO of Custodia Bank, a Wyoming-chartered special-purpose depository institution, for her insight. She weighs in on what the development could mean for regulating the industry, and she also reacts to the Fed launching its instant payment service today, as Custodia Bank is in a legal battle with the regulator.
There have been several developments in the crypto space since you were last on our show back in March.
Wiz Network Bits, his girls here.
Just last week, Ripple scored a partial victory when a federal judge ruled that the crypto company did not violate securities laws when issuing XRP to retail investors. That decision marked a major blow to the SEC's efforts to regulate the crypto industry. What was your reaction to that ruling, and what do you think the implications are for the industry?
Well, I had the same reaction a lot of folks did, which is that it was a partial win, but an important one for Ripple, for XRP. And the implication is that if that decision stands, that many other tokens that the SEC has been maintaining are securities, including, by the way, potentially stablecoins, are now not securities when they meet the judge's standards. Now, that said, it is a district court opinion and it is likely to be appealed and it may not stand, but you saw the reaction pretty much across.
No, she just said it was district court opinion. It's a fact. It's a fact. He pointed out facts.
Board of U.S. exchanges immediately relisting the XRP token, and that speaks volumes.
And I'm especially interested in your take, given you do have a law background, so thank you for that. But just this week, Ripple's general counsel said the firm is confident that U.S. banks will want to start using XRP for cross-border transactions after Ripple's partial victory in its battle with the SEC. You're the CEO of an institution here in the U.S. which specializes in digital asset payment and custody solutions for businesses. So I'm curious to get your insight on that statement. Do you think that will hold true?
I think the banks are in a different zip code than the securities firms, and the statements from the bank regulators have been universally negative, including on the use of tokens and any payment rail other than the one that the Fed is literally introducing the 20th of July, which is FedNow.
Which was yesterday. So that's, yeah. Joker Miner, thank you so much for the $1.99.
Congrats to Hawk the BTC Block King crown.
Yes, congrats to Mr. Hawk Crypto for his gambling addiction. He has a problem. He's going to spend all 3,000 of those dollars right back into the nice hack mining shit. All right, let's continue.
The Fed in particular has taken steps to shove aside anyone who's using new payment rails that would compete with its own system.
You would know this firsthand because of your ongoing legal battle with the Fed, correct?
Yes, although it's public that the Fed openly questioned banks being involved in new payment systems, and it made it clear they don't want banks to hold digital assets on their balance sheets, which of course is going to have to be required if the bank is actually engaging in payment system use of the token. It's not something where they can keep it entirely off balance sheet. So the securities battle that the digital asset industry is having has been partially won. Let's see if it sticks. The banking battle, as you know, is just beginning. But it's interesting because Custodia has company in its lawsuit against the Fed. There was another lawsuit filed by a non-crypto company, but a company engaged in payments that was unlawfully denied a Fed master account, just like Custodia was. And it brought suit at the end of June. What's interesting about that suit is it brought suit in the Ninth Circuit, which is where most of the fintechs in the United States are located. So the Fed might get what it professed that it feared if it let Custodia in, which was a lot of fintechs getting uninsured bank charters and getting Fed master accounts because the Fed can't unlawfully withhold them. And now the seal proverbially has been broken. And anytime the Fed denies a master account, most likely it will end up in a lawsuit.
Well, it certainly will be interesting to see what happens there. But we recently learned that NASDAQ is halting its plans for a crypto custody service. During NASDAQ's earnings call, CEO Adena Friedman said the change is a result of the shifting business and regulatory environment here in the U.S. What's your reaction to that? I'm specifically interested in your take, given your company, Custodia Bank, serves as a custodian of digital assets, and given your ongoing lawsuit with the regulator, the Fed, after the Federal Reserve Board announced its denial of your application to become a member of the Federal Reserve System back in January.
Right. I think there are a couple of factors at play. One is there's a clear incumbency bias. The Fed approved Bank of New York Mellon and denied Custodia, even though Custodia's revised business plan is exactly the same as what Bank of New York Mellon's is. So leave the ethics aside of that. But the other issue that I think NASDAQ was potentially running into was the accounting bulletin that the SEC put out last year, SAB 121, which requires the SEC filing companies, which of course NASDAQ itself is one, to comply with accounting guidance that requires the custodian to treat the asset as if it were owned by the custodian, as opposed to keeping the assets off the custodian's balance sheet. What that means is it attracts a capital charge. And we've seen that some of the large financial institutions have backed away because of that. And so what's interesting about the private companies like Custodia is, as a non-SEC filer, that does not apply to Custodia, but it does apply to some of the big banks. This is one of the insidious ways that the SEC attacked the digital asset industry, was through that accounting bulletin.
What do you think is next for crypto regulation here in the U.S.? This week, we learned that the Senate is getting ready to take another stab at regulating the crypto industry with a new bill that would place stringent anti-money laundering requirements on DeFi protocols. And last week, Senators Lummis and Gillibrand unveiled their revamped crypto bill. What do you think will happen with that? And in general, do you think lawmakers here in the U.S. can agree on a comprehensive regulatory framework? If so, what do you think is a realistic timeline?
Well, I still think it's less than 50-50 that something gets done before the end of the Biden administration, because Biden and Senator Warren are virulently anti-crypto, period. However, the Ripple decision, which certainly the SEC wasn't expecting, does throw into even further uncertainty and disarray the U.S. crypto regulatory structure, while other countries are moving full speed ahead. And it is putting the U.S. further and further behind. So there is a chance that something happens. In terms of the Lummis-Gillibrand bill, that is a serious bipartisan attempt at a comprehensive regulatory structure. Does it have a chance at passing? it remains to be seen. It really does. It does matter whether the Biden White House wants to get behind something like that or not. And I think it's still less than 50-50, even though the chance went up significantly post the Ripple lawsuit.
Long.
All right. Shout out to Crypto World for that long ass interview. All right. Real quick, Ripple CEO says SEC has been a bully to crypto, which is pretty true. This is Bloomberg, so let's see what they got to say about the XRP decision. And I think Mr. Altcoin Daily actually takes a few sections of this for his video today as well.
I wonder what your reaction is, because it seems as though the judge was saying, when you sold this token XRP to institutions with paperwork that amounted essentially to a business plan, then it is a security. Although you could see it as a commodity, a way to play in the currency of your own blockchain, native blockchain. How do you react?
Well, let me back up for a second. You know, the SEC brought 3 lawsuits. They brought a lawsuit against Chris Larson, the co-founder of Ripple. They brought a lawsuit against me, and they brought a lawsuit against Ripple. They lost the lawsuit against Chris Larson. They lost the lawsuit against me personally. And Ripple mostly won the case that they brought against Ripple. And so there's one narrow piece, and the SEC, in my judgment, and as certainly many are reacting, the SEC clearly lost as a matter of law. And the judge wrote, XRP is not a security.
Which is amazing. Mr. Mining King, thank you very much for that.
US behind in tech. Sounds like dinosaurs holding us back.
Gotcha, bitch.
100% the Mining King. They're all dinosaurs. Time to retire everybody.
As a kind of intrinsic thing. In certain circumstances, which is kind of a narrow definition around institutional sales, it could be a security. So, look, the market reacted in a very positive way. Certainly, Team Ripple is very happy with the decision. And, Coinbase is up 25% yesterday. The value of XRP is up somewhere between 50 and 80%. So, the market has reacted as a clear win, both for Ripple and for the industry.
All right, so what is going to be the result then for you as a result of that piece of the decision, Brad? And what is going to be the result for Ripple as regards to that piece of the decision from the judge who ruled that it is a security when looking at the institutional sales?
I apologize if this is quiet for anybody else. This is like super quiet for me, but DJ Mines actually just said in the chat, he said, I'm thinking 2040 cash goes away. What about y'all? What do you guys think? Will cash go away ever? I assume it will, but who knows when. Mr. Condibits, thank you very much for the 50 DKK. Let's see.
Put some meat on the table for the XDs. Have a steak, not a security.
Thank you very much, Mr. Condibits. You're awesome. And happy Friday to you, sir.
So the institutional sales ends up being, from the broad perspective, I don't want to say inconsequential, but it's the smallest piece. And I think in some ways it's ironic. The mission statement of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission is to protect investors. They went after Ripple, suggesting that, all kinds of things, everything we were doing was selling an unregistered security. And the judge really very clearly said, sales through exchanges, not a security. When it's used for compensation, not a security. When it's used for incentives around the overall XRP ecosystem, not a security. So, we have already moved a lot of our activity, and frankly, 95% of our customers are non-US. So a lot of our activity has been outside the US jurisdiction because that's where our customer demand is. But I think that's where the US is losing. And I think what the SEC has been trying to do is to put power and politics over what is really just sound policy and providing clear rules of the road such that entrepreneurs and investors can participate in this amazing new market around crypto and blockchain technologies.
Well, you raise an important point there about the fact that this is a globally connected crypto community, Brad. And while there was, given how all this was playing out, a delisting of XRP on platforms in the U.S., we saw a delisting, in markets like Canada as well. Can you just walk us through? We're hearing about relistings of XRP over the last 24 hours, but what the conversations with platforms are like for you right now?
Well, we actually, those are decisions made by the exchanges. But I mean, John, first of all, good to see you again. And it's when the lawsuit was first filed, a lot of the
He's like, first off, good to see you again. Like, way to say hi, dick.
Exchanges in the United States just said, look, we're going to wait and see what happens. And it's really because of the confusion that the SEC, in my judgment, had sowed in the market. They were increasing confusion in the market. And even as part of this lawsuit, the discovery process we saw is that they knew there was confusion, and they actually did things that they knew would increase confusion. And the only reason to do that is because this confusion actually masquerades as power to the SEC. But John, as you pointed out, just in the last 24 hours, all of the major U.S. exchanges, whether it's Bitstamp, Gemini, Kraken, Coinbase, have either relisted or publicly announced their intent to list XRP because there now is clarity. The clarity is XRP is not a security as judged by the United States. Of course, ironically, no other country on the planet thought that XRP was a security, but it's nice to have that clarity now for the market here in the United States.
So this is still a legal process playing out. I think people watching, an SEC appeal process, what that looks like. What does it mean for your company in your business in the interim?
Look, as a matter of law, the law of the land right now is that XRP is not a security. And until there is an opportunity for the SEC to file an appeal, which would take years, and frankly, we're very optimistic. If they were to file an appeal, we think that only further solidifies the decision this judge made. Because, look, as a matter of law, as a matter of the facts, and really as a matter of looking back in the history here, for the SEC, really it's overreach to suggest, as the chair has said many times, that basically everything in the crypto space is a security. Well, we now have a judge very clearly saying that is just not true, and very clearly saying XRP is not a security on exchanges and all these different use cases, which I think helps the whole industry for sure. So this is a win for Ripple. It's also a win for the entire crypto industry, and I think that's why you saw the crypto industry react so positively over the last 24 hours. What
is the most important use case, you think, Brad, for XRP? And do you feel limited at all in, publicizing use cases you're excited about, lest it be considered a security when you do that?
Well, the good news is, the answer to your question is yesterday, before this lawsuit was resolved, or the decision came out yesterday, I would have said yes. I was worried about, evangelizing different use cases. I'm no longer worried because now there's clear rules of the road that the judge has made a determination, and that's the law of the land. Now, to the first part of your question, look, Ripple has really built our primary business. Our primary go-to-market has been around solving this cross-border payments problem. Today, and as I've certainly talked with John Ehrlichman about over the past, sending money overseas, even from the U.S. to Canada, can be slow, it's expensive, and it really has not kept up with modern technologies.
Stupid expensive.
Ripple is using XRP as part of our technology stack to dramatically increase the speed and dramatically reduce the cost of managing cross-border payments. That's how Ripple is using. There's interesting things going on in the real estate market around using blockchain technologies to reduce the friction of any financial transaction. These are the use cases. There's going to be a lot of them. I really feel like it's the earliest days of the internet where you couldn't even predict how these technologies would impact various businesses and various financial transactions.
And Brad, maybe talk to us about personally for you over this last day. You mentioned, the lawsuit specifically with you, and you also mentioned the industry itself, or a victory for the industry. Have you been talking with your industry peers over the last 24 hours?
Look, I have heard from literally hundreds of people throughout the industry at all levels, and there's just broad enthusiasm and excitement that this is the first time the SEC has lost a crypto case. It's because I think the SEC has been a bully, and they've gone after weak players who couldn't mount a proper defense. Ripple had the fortitude, the courage to kind of go and frankly me individually and Chris Larson individually to fight this fight. And I think many people in the industry are responding positively because the industry needed someone to fight, because the SEC was really just using regulation through enforcement as their primary tool. And that's not a good way to build a market. And the SEC still hasn't done the hard work that other countries have done, whether it's the UK or Europe, where they have provided clarity for rules of the road so that investors and entrepreneurs can build. And that's what has made American technology innovation so profound. Clear rules of the road. And even now the SEC is more focused on bringing lawsuits as opposed to doing the work. I will just conclude that thought with the good news is you're finally seeing in Congress, you saw a number of elected officials yesterday tweeting about the Ripple case and really calling on on Congress to pass laws so that there is the clarity that the SEC knows does not exist.
Awesome. That was Brad Garlinghouse. So he is actually part of Ripple and was sued personally, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see this next one. What did I bring this up for? This is I'm more comfortable being along Bitcoin today than I was 6 months ago. Oh, that was, you know what, I want to play that at the end actually. So let's go to this real quick. Let's watch Mr. Altcoin Daily. He breaks this down a little bit and he shows a little bit in the middle, but I will skip over that in Condibits only sometimes when I'm cold. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, let's watch this. Altcoin Daily, shout out to them. Again, all these video articles and stuff are down in the description below. Feel free to click them, watch them, go like the videos, and share them with people. Let's do it.
The SEC brought 3 lawsuits. They brought a lawsuit against Chris Larson, the co-founder of Ripple. They brought a lawsuit against me, and they brought a lawsuit against Ripple. They lost the lawsuit against Chris Larson. They lost the lawsuit against me personally. And Ripple mostly won the case that they brought against Ripple.
Ripple has finally beaten Gary Gensler. XRP has just won a landmark case against the SEC.
I never heard the baby noise.
XRP is not a security, according to court ruling. Or is it? Make no mistake about it, this verdict is huge for crypto. But technically, the final verdict is as follows. The XRP token being sold to retail investors on exchanges, not a security. However, XRP token being sold to institutional investors is a security. Understand this, although the decision is nuanced, the verdict is a clear win for Ripple and the cryptocurrency industry as a whole.
The SEC brought 3 lawsuits. They brought a lawsuit against Chris Larson, the co-founder of Ripple. They brought a lawsuit against me, and they brought a lawsuit against Ripple. They lost the lawsuit against Chris Larson. They lost the lawsuit against me personally. And Ripple mostly won the case that they brought against Ripple. And so there's one narrow piece, and the SEC, in my judgment, and as certainly many are reacting, the SEC clearly lost as a matter of law. And the judge wrote, XRP is not a security, as a kind of intrinsic thing. In certain circumstances, which is kind of a narrow definition around institutional sales, it could be a security. So look, the market reacted in a very positive way. Certainly Team Ripple is very happy with the decision. And Coinbase is up 25% yesterday. The value of XRP is up somewhere between 50 and 80%. So the market has reacted as a clear win both for Ripple and for the industry.
Billionaire crypto investor Mike Novogratz explains why this is a win for crypto and what this means.
Oh, damn, he found the same. So this is the one I was going to play after this. I didn't even realize it was in his video.
It was a big win for Ripple, and it was a big win for the crypto community. Like, let's not let Gary Gensler put lipstick on a pig. They lost, and they know it.
I've heard that analogy so many times in the last couple of days, lipstick on a pig. Have you guys heard that a lot recently?
Yes, the judge said if the SEC wants to litigate, you're going to have to litigate every token separately and every use of that token separately. And so the current status quo isn't going to work for the SEC.
Gary Gensler is not too happy with the final verdict. He says he's going to continue to take action against the cryptocurrency industry. Specifically, Gary says the sale of XRP to institutional investors is considered a security. He takes that as a big win under the SEC's belt. However, he says that the sale of XRP on exchanges to retail investors not being a security, he's really disappointed at the judge for that.
So he's straight up trying to turn this around, making it sound good for the SEC. Like, a win under their belt for what? Because you lost in court? I don't understand. But I have a feeling they're probably going to appeal this. What do you guys think about that, actually? I would assume they are going to. Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's crazy how this guy acts, and I wonder if they're actually going to get rid of him sooner than later.
Federal court ruling last week in the Ripple case impact your stance toward digital asset regulation? Does it inject urgency into the need for federal legislation to clarify regulatory oversight of this industry?
Look, our mission remains exactly what I spoke about earlier, about investor protection, promoting capital formation, and the markets in the middle. This is a recent decision, just a handful of days ago. We were pleased from that decision, recognizing the importance of protecting investors on the institutional investors in that, and that the court movement with regard to fair notice. And while disappointed on what they said about retail investors, we're still looking at it and assessing that opinion.
The big question is, can Gary Gensler appeal this decision? Can Gary Gensler use what's left of his insider connections to try to overturn the ruling?
They could appeal. Appeals take a long time. We can stay in court for years. But I think the message that I want to give that is really clear was what Gary has been saying, that the rules are clear, just isn't true. It's not true at all. And that judge said that exactly. This is really complicated. We need regulation that makes things clear. It's not that complicated.
What I'm looking for is the legal decisions, verdicts, and precedents that will be set next.
It has to force the Democrats, the White House, and Gensler to the table to start negotiating fair rules.
CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, has a lot to say on this. He's been involved in this court case for years. Here he gives his take on what this means for XRP and the crypto industry as a whole. Listen to this.
What is the direct impact for your company, Ripple, and for the broader crypto industry right now?
Well, 2.5 years ago when the SEC first sued us, we said publicly that this wasn't just an attack on Ripple, it was an attack on the entire crypto industry. And I think we did see that play out with the SEC getting more and more aggressive in really trying to regulate through enforcement, which we clearly don't think is a healthy way to do it. I think this is a huge win, not just for Ripple, but for the whole industry. I think it really is the first time the SEC has lost a crypto case and really puts the SEC, some of the SEC's narrative and comments that they make publicly about all of these digital assets being securities, it puts that in check, and I think in a very good way. And hopefully it also drives the legislative process, because it doesn't make sense to try to regulate this through enforcement, but rather let's have clear laws about this that allow rules of the road for all entrepreneurs.
Make sure you make an account on
Oh, God, here we go. Hold on. Chilling a little bit. Let's jump forward.
At BitGet Exchange. So is Ripple affected in any way based on the nuanced part of the verdict? XRP sales to institutions are securities. Is Ripple going to change in any way based on this?
So
again, the actual article or video, this video that he's showing here is in the description below if you guys are interested.
Sales ends up being, from the broad perspective, I don't want to say inconsequential, but it's the smallest piece. And I think in some ways it's ironic. The mission statement of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission is to protect investors. They went after Ripple, suggesting that, all kinds of things, everything we were doing was selling an unregistered security. And the judge really very clearly said, sales through exchanges, not a security. When it's used for compensation, not a security. When it's used for incentives around the overall XRP ecosystem, not a security. So, we have already moved a lot of our activity, and frankly, 95% of our customers are non-US. So a lot of our activity has been outside the US jurisdiction because that's where our customer demand is. But I think that's where the US is losing. And I think what the SEC has been trying to do is to put power and politics over what is really just sound policy and providing clear rules of the road such that entrepreneurs and investors can participate in this amazing new market around crypto and blockchain technologies.
Make sure you subscribe to our channel. There's a lot more to report on this and the cryptocurrency industry as a large. We put out one video every day, keeping you informed. Subscribe for daily content. Prepare for big exchanges to start listing XRP for the first time or XRP again. We're already seeing this happen.
Those are decisions made by the exchanges. When the lawsuit was first filed, a lot of the exchanges in the United States just said, look, we're going to wait and see what happens. And it's really because of the confusion that the SEC, in my judgment, had sowed in the market. They were increasing confusion in the market. And even as part of this lawsuit, the discovery process we saw is that they knew there was confusion, and they actually did things that they knew would increase confusion. And the only reason to do that is because this confusion actually masquerades as power to the SEC. But John, as you pointed out, just in the last 24 hours, all of the major U.S. exchanges, whether it's Bitstamp, Gemini, Kraken, Coinbase, have either relisted or publicly announced their intent to list XRP because there now is clarity. The clarity is XRP is not a security as judged by the United States. Of course, ironically, no other country on the planet thought that XRP is a security, but it's nice to have that clarity now for the market here in the United States.
If you guys, real quick, the reason I was trying to pause it, this right here, the Bitcoin halving, we watched this yesterday. That's a very good video with Mr. Anthony Pomp. So go check that out if you guys are interested. And this is the a more comfortable being along Bitcoin today than I was 6 months ago video that he actually pulled in a little bit of Mike Novogratz's comments there on XRP. So let's play this, see what they got to say. And then Dan R asked me to look something else up. So we're going to check that out in a second too.
We told you about the Dow's current 8-day winning streak. That's its longest since September of 2019. The S&P and the NASDAQ have both been up 7 of the past 8 sessions. Join us to talk more about the markets. And we'll touch on Bitcoin as well. Mike Novogratz, Galaxy Digital founder and CEO. Are you in the soft landing camp yet, Mike, or what do you think is responsible for the the equity markets being so positive?
You know, I think it's an AI bubble that is in its early innings, right? The AI story is so powerful.
Love AI.
Right? Every single person who logs on to Chat GPT gets fascinated. You start playing with it. It's quick adoption. You look at the driving, 4, 5, 6 stocks that are taking this thing up. They all have an AI component to them. And it's a story that, bubbles don't really last 2 months and die, right? These are usually 12 to 18-month phenomena where people buy into a new story. And that's what's giving it juice.
Mr. Condibits, thank you so much for the
Viewers,
super chat.
you suck. Hit that like. I did 5 of them. Rest is on you.
I can't even see. I don't even know where you donated. It doesn't even show me. Well, I appreciate the donation. Thank you so much. Why is it doing it again? What is happening? Hold on. What is happening?
Viewers, you suck. Hit that like. I did 5 of them. Rest is on you.
It doesn't even show me a super chat. That's hysterical. And it says it more than once. If it keeps saying it, I'm going to have to stop it. But thank you so much, Mr. Condibits. You're awesome.
Listen, if you look at 2-year rates, they're close to the high yields to sort of think, we're not really getting a lot of relief from interest rates for stocks or for Bitcoin or for any risk assets. The market does think we're gonna roll at one point. We've been wrong. The economists have been wrong on how fast it would take for the economy to slow down. I actually think when I look back, why was everyone wrong? Our entire careers, all of yours and mine, every response from governments to crises was always monetary, right? Cut interest rates, inject lots of liquidity. Well, with this COVID response, it was giant fiscal. And we've never really lived through an experiment where we did UBI for the entire country, right? We've normalized 5%, budget deficits, which is a dangerous thing. But I think one of the reasons the models aren't working is we're just not used to this. And none of us have kind of lived through an experiment where you just gave away so much money. My instinct is at one point that runs out and the economy does slow. But every time you think it's slowing, you get another strong number. It wouldn't surprise me if today's claims are lower. It's a tough market to trade in that respect.
So you think just the excitement about AI that's spilling over into all risk assets? You think that's why the S&P is up 20%? You think that's why Bitcoin has been...
Bitcoin's got its own story. I think, listen, this normalization of 5% budget deficits, right? Trump started it. Biden's continued it, right? Governments love to spend money. In the long run, someone's got to pay for that. And that's why Bitcoin, gold, silver, I put them all in the same bucket. Silver and gold trade great. Bitcoin's got the additional adoption cycle, right? What drove Bitcoin this year was retail, and they continue to buy, and they continue to buy. And now we've got an ETF on the way. And so I'm more comfortable being long Bitcoin today than I was 6 months ago.
For sure.
6 months ago, it was scary. Now we see the future kind of spilling out.
Well, they're making it easy for, at the average Joe or a little Timmy down the street to invest into Bitcoin. If these ETFs come out, we're friggin' golden.
Well, I've kind of tongue in cheek when Kelly says she's going to buy Kelly Evans says she wants a 2-year at 5%. I go, I would just put it in Bitcoin. I'm kidding around, but I've sort of feel the same way with the BlackRocks and the Charles Schwabs of the world. But I'll tell you, you got that on one side, and big name people want these ETFs, but then you have Gensler and the SEC on the other side. Is Gensler? Do you think he's just anti-crypto or anti-exchanges that sort of work unregulated? Because that's the key difference. You think he'd like to take Bitcoin off the table as a financial asset, or does he just want to regulate the way that it's traded?
I think if this Ripple lawsuit taught us anything, right? Gary has been saying, come in, the rules are clear. The rules are absolutely not clear. The judge just basically said to the SEC, you're wrong.
Facts.
And so, Richie Torres, the congressman from the Bronx, put a beautiful letter out to the SEC, to Gensler, saying, guys, it's time to come to the table for the White House, for the SEC, for Democrats, to sit down with the Republicans and give us some damn legislation so we can get on with life. I don't think Gary inherently hates Bitcoin or hates crypto. He did see an industry rife with a lot of fraud. I do think Elizabeth Warren and the progressive side, for reasons I can't understand, have been anti-crypto. And I think any central bank governor gets nervous about something. You know, Larry Fink went on TV and said, this is going to be the first global currency. Well, Janet Yellen thinks, and that's her job, right, to defend the dollar as a global currency. And so there is a tension. I like to think of Bitcoin as digital gold, a store of value. And that keeps the tempers or the nerves of central bankers down a little bit. When you start talking currency, they get nervous. But there's that tension there. But I think, listen, the cat's out of the bag. Bitcoin's not going away. Like, you threw everything you could at it, and it's up 80% on the year with interest rates higher. And so the adoption cycle continues. Big ideas are almost impossible to kill, and this is a really big idea.
So, I mean, that's do you guys honestly think that Mr. Gensler doesn't have any crypto? Let's be real. Let's be real, because there's no way that he does not. I know he says he doesn't, but he's a lying sack of shit. Guarantee it. All right, let me see. So Dan R. Oh, let me do that. Dan R. actually said, check this out. Let's see. Cryptocurrency closely resembles a Ponzi scheme or multi-level marketing, says actor Ben McKenzie. Eat shit, bro. Let's see what this is. Hold on. All right. Hopefully this plays.
Actor Ben McKenzie is here. He's known for his role in the OC and Gotham. He's been a vocal critic of the cryptocurrency industry. After delving into the world of crypto and interviewing players from regular holders to Sam Bankman-Fried, his scrutiny has led him to challenge its flaws and shortcomings, and even testified in front of the Senate Banking Committee. He's got a new book out. It's called Easy Money: Cryptocurrency, Casino Capitalism, and the Golden Age of Fraud. It's co-authored with the journalist.
Oh man, shots fired.
Highlights the inherent risks and practices within the industry. Joining us right now is Ben McKenzie. Good morning.
Good morning.
So how did you first, we were talking about it off screen here, but how did you first get interested in this and decide that you wanted to go? I mean, you started writing articles about a couple of years ago about this and sort of taking to Twitter with your views of crypto, but how did this really evolve?
Well, like most Americans, I stumbled onto crypto through a friend of mine. A buddy of mine told me I should buy Bitcoin. Unfortunately, that friend of mine had given me the worst financial advice of my life.
No, this guy was probably just a moron and bought it when it was, stupid high and sold it when it was stupid low.
What's the price of Bitcoin at the time?
Let's hear.
2021, somewhere between like 40 and 50,000 or something, probably. Okay. He said I should buy it. I said, okay, what is this stuff? I have a degree in economics, and they weren't currencies. I mean, people weren't using them like currencies. They were using them as investments. That was odd to me. I didn't quite understand what that meant. So I went down the rabbit hole, and I just looked at the market structure, which is very interesting. Of course, most of the volume in crypto runs through overseas exchanges. Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX, headquartered in the Bahamas. Binance, which we actually don't know where that's headquartered. They have no headquarters, or so they claim. But there's a lot of shell corporations in the Caribbean that they're affiliated with. So that was interesting to me. So you're talking about an unregulated, unlicensed marketplace, more or less.
All right, so just real quick, he's shitting on Bitcoin or crypto in general because he lost money and he did a stupid decision by listening to somebody, which you should never do. Do not listen to anybody else when it comes to investing anything, especially if they're not doing better than you as a person. So just saying, don't invest into shit people tell you to invest in, especially people on YouTube or your buddy down the street that doesn't have a pot to piss in. All right, just saying.
Run through shell corporations in the Caribbean. Interesting.
And you lost how much?
Oh, I know. I hate to disappoint the bros. I was a little early, and I did lose initially, but then I doubled down, which you should never do. And I actually did okay.
You did okay?
Yeah.
So you doubled down what will...
Wait. So, you lost money, doubled down, made it back, and he's still bitching. It's because it wasn't actor money, that's why.
It was down at, what, 15 or 20, or, I mean, we're back down to 30,000.
Oh, I wasn't, like, shorting Bitcoin directly. I wouldn't do that. I don't trust the marketplace. It's the marketplace is pretty bad.
That's your biggest concern with it, the marketplace and how...
Well, my biggest concern is regular people who've lost a lot of money. You know, 40 to 50 million Americans invested in cryptocurrency. Most of them have lost money. Cryptocurrency, the market, closely resembles a Ponzi scheme or multi-level marketing scheme. And studies have shown that in MLMs, 99% of people lose, and the 1% benefits. In crypto, it would be the exchange.
Well, it's like anything else. It's like doing your homework. When you do your homework, right, you're gonna get better grades than the kid that didn't. You know what I mean? Like, you got to pay attention to the space as a whole. You can't just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna put money into this and expect to win. You're not always going to win. And let's be real, like crypto, the way kind of the way it works is people will, they'll buy crypto and sell it for whatever the next guy is willing to pay for it. That's, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you're trading coins back and forth for whatever the demand is, whatever people are willing to pay for your crypto. That's what you're selling it at. It's just, it's a game, man. It's just, you can't just expect to win by putting money in. This guy's God.
Exchange owners, it would be the VC firms, it would be the people that issue the coins.
Would it be fixed if the regulatory structure were different, if the SEC or the CFTC or Congress laid rules to say which one of them was supposed to be in charge?
That would definitely help.
You think it
Crypto's
could be
benefited enormously from the gray area between how we classify securities and commodities. Bitcoin was classified as a commodity in 2014, I believe, because of a strict reading of the CEA, the Commodity Exchange Act of 1936, which, the futures are being traded of Bitcoin, and therefore you could classify it as a commodity because it had not been classified.
How much of your issue is around Bitcoin versus the other currencies? Because I could even make an argument that the other currencies are even more precarious, if you will, than where Bitcoin really is.
Well, that's certainly true. I mean, even worse is probably how I would say it. I mean, at least with Bitcoin, theoretically, the number is limited, right? There are only 21 million Bitcoin that I can.
What do you mean theoretically the number's limited? No, it is limited. It is. There is no more to ever be minted or created or mined, whatever you want to say. There's no more. It's 21 million and that's it. It's probably 5 to 7 million lost. You can literally lay out the entire monetary whatever of Bitcoin. Like, exactly how much money is going to be in the market 10 years from now because of the policy that it already has going for it.
Bitcoiners usually make a conflation there. They confuse limited supply with scarcity. Those are not the same things, as anyone with a degree in economics knows. Scarcity only occurs when demand exceeds supply at the price of zero. So something can be limited in supply and scarce because there's demand for it, or it can be limited in supply but not scarce.
Okay, you should talk to this gentleman over here, Mr. Joe. No, because
we are
because Joe likes Bitcoin.
I do, but I bought it.
It's like Joe is about to beat your ass, so look at him when you're talking.
At 4,000, and at the time said at the next halving, is it possible to go to 50 or 55? And it went from 4 to 62. So I had a much different experience than you. Sold most of it at 50. I guess I didn't have a lot in it.
No, but I read money, and I'm not.
No. And we have Tom Lee on earlier. He's great, smart guy, stock analyst, thinks Bitcoin's going to 200,000. So we have, Kathy Wood.
Someday it will.
BlackRock wants to have an ETF. Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Paul Tudor Jones, Stan Druckenmiller.
Sure.
And just across the board. It didn't take me long to understand how the unbanked could benefit from this. And I also understand the distributed ledgers, and I understand it was only,
look at all these big companies that are trying to get involved in Bitcoin ETFs. Mr. Mining King, thank you for the $2 super chat.
The blind leading the blind, spreading false truths.
Super true, though. Super true. But these guys wouldn't apply for spot Bitcoin ETFs if they all thought Bitcoin was going nowhere. All right, that is a fact. I'm sorry, BlackRock, Fidelity, the biggest freaking guys in the space. There's no chance they would be risking everything to do this shit if they didn't think it was going anywhere.
You say you did a deep dive. It only took me about 20 pages of the Bitcoin Standard to understand that this was probably something that. Do you think all these firms are going to have egg on their face?
So the democratized, decentralized future of money is brought to you by BlackRock?
I don't know. Maybe they may. If
it's not going to be the fucking U.S. dollar.
Gold, if they think it's,
that's why I was
digital gold.
Fucking paper.
Right, exactly. That's why I was explaining the difference between
I heard that, but
and scarcity.
A lot of smart people are
So are fooled by it. You think it's going to zero eventually?
No, that's like a. I mean, look.
Where do you think it's going?
Story. I can't predict the
He's an
future
actor
anymore
for
than
a
anyone
reason.
else. But I
You
would
think
say
it's
this.
going lower?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think eventually there will not be something called Bitcoin?
It's a story. It'll last as long as people believe in it.
Just like, what is he in, Batman? Maybe Gotham. I don't know. Whatever. That was probably one of the most foolish interviews I've ever watched or listened to. But anyways, I mean, guys, realistically, Bitcoin is scarce. It's not going to be there is physically not enough for everybody in the world to own one Bitcoin. There's 8 billion people in the world. There's 21 million ever to be created of Bitcoin. Not a chance. Not a chance. If you're like, what is it? We showed it yesterday. What is the, let me see. Let me Google this real quick. What was it? 0.01 Bitcoin. Let me see. Let me Google this. So, in summary, right here, just for people that are maybe new or just tuning in summary, buying 0.01 Bitcoin, which at the current price equates to an investment of around $500, can secure a top 13 position in the world. Physically, top 13 position in the world. If you own just 0.01 BTC, that's $500, man. It's really, at the end of the day, it's not much to invest into something that has ridiculous potential. If you compare the fiat and Bitcoin markets, relative wealth concentration being among the top 13th of BTC holders is as exclusive as being a fiat millionaire. Just think about it, guys. It's coming. Bitcoin may take over someday. But anyways, that's gonna do it, guys. That's gonna do it. End of the show. I'm tired. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow, so I'm not gonna be the morning show Monday and Tuesday. I won't be here next week. I think I'm gonna try to do Saturday, and I think we're gonna have Mr. Max Voltage. Hopefully he's here listening. I don't know if he is, but I think he's gonna stream again, and I'll just call in remotely from my phone because we have some things to do this weekend, so I won't be at my normal location. Well, I think as of right now. But anyways, yeah, that's it. Let's see. Any last questions in the chat before we get out of here? Guys, hit that like button, please. 55 likes. We have 102 people here. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you. Appreciate you very much. Let's see. Have a good weekend. Raven Boy Crypto, thank you. Blue Dragon Mining. Hopefully you guys are having a nice payday today. It's Friday. It is Friday. Max is away this weekend. Is he really? Oh, shit. I might have to stream from my phone then. We'll see. Am I going to Mining Disrupt? I am not. Mr. Crypto Mining Insider, are you? Actually? Are you going? Are you going to buy a KSO? I am not. How much are they going for right now? Let's look. We'll get out of here in a minute. We got to look at this first. Still $8.99. I don't think I'm going to buy one, man. I don't think I'm gonna. You know what? Actually, huge shout out and thank you to Mr. Fully Electric, because he purchased, this guy bought like 8 of them. And they're just cranking away. I think the one that I have here running for him in the solar trailer is already paid off, if I'm not mistaken. Or close to anyways. But he was like, once I get this second batch paid off, he's like, the unit's all yours. I honestly feel terrible taking it from him, so I don't think I'm gonna take it. But I appreciate it more than you know. And thank you for even offering. It's a really kind gesture, but I don't want to take that from you. It's crazy. That's crazy. I'll run it for free for you because I appreciate it. Let's see. Good. BTC. I already bought one. Wait, what? Oh, no, sorry. She said because I already bought one. Wait, you already bought one? What? Miss Pocket Change. This is my wife, by the way. If anyone doesn't know in the chat. Miss Pocket Change, what did you buy? No, you did not. Chump Change, take it, damn it. Fully Electric. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you very much. Let's see. Yeah, I really hope you didn't buy one, hon. I hope you didn't. I mean, it's not a bad deal. Like, it's crazy that, like, all right, let's see, right? If I go to, let's see what we're looking at right now for the price of it, actually. Or the estimate how much the KSO actually takes in per day. So if you go down to miningpoolstats.stream, there's a calculator here. just put in 100 gigahashes. See, it's at 26 bucks now. So this thing was at, what was it at, 30 bucks a day? I mean, it's going up and down, obviously. What's the price of Caspa? Let's look. Just for shits. That'll let me type. Caspa. We still at 3 cents? We are. 3 cents. It's down 3.6%. But damn. 3 cents, man. That's crazy. I wonder what Caspa is going to get to. The only thing I'm really concerned with when it comes to Caspa is how fast everything's going to be mined. Do you know what I mean? Like that schedule is just crazy to me. It's like, what is it, like 10 years from now, everything's going to be out, like just done, and it's just going to be transactions. $39 when I first got them. Really? So these things are pulling in 39 bucks and now it's 26. God damn. That's crazy. I mean, but you got to think the KS3s are coming out and those things are pulling like, what is it? I think it's 8. Am I wrong? Is this right? Is it 8,000? I think it's 8,000. Yeah, see, this thing was making almost $3,000 a day. Holy shit. Is it? Am I right? Is that right? That's got to be right. I think it's right. What the hell just happened? Oh, all right. Okay. So the light is 5 terahashes. Yeah, and 8 terahashes, 3,200 watts. That's crazy. But man, this is the price of a goddamn minivan. That's insane. God. But yeah, 8 terahashes. Dude, this thing was at $3,000 like 3 days ago. Oh shit. What the hell did that just happen? What did I just click on? Oh, this. Huh. Yeah, so it was almost $3,000. I mean, dude, 62,000 Caspa a day. Holy hell. That's crazy. I have to mess with them a little. All right, good. Miss Pocket Change. Thank you. Thank you. But this is, I mean, this is cool. It's cool that you can make a bunch of money off it, but at the same time, like, it's a risk. Like, this is a risk, right? I would personally, versus just getting this, I would personally just purchase the Caspa, because you're paying an electric bill on top of chasing the, you know, the break even on this unit. Let's see, actually. So if we did, wait, it would be what, 0.03 times, it's not gonna come out right, is it? No, that's not gonna come out right. How would I do the math on that? Let's see, what's 100? Let's see. Oh, 100 divided by 3. Just 33. So let's see, if we did, yeah, we could do that, right? 33 times the 45, I think. Right? So you could just buy that much Caspa with it, if I'm not mistaken. That much is that right? Hold on, that's 1 million. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that would be right. 1 million. Yeah, because if we did, yeah, 1.5 mil. So if we did, let's see, 245, what was it, like that? 46,000 divided by 2084, 22 days. So 22 days, 62593 times 22. Yeah, close enough. Yeah, 1.5 million Caspa. I mean, I would just buy the Caspa, to be honest, if I was going to do this. That's what I would do personally. Just, I think the break even is probably going to not come for a lot of people that actually do purchase this. Unfortunately, I think you'll get really close, or it'll take you a long time. But I mean, we've seen it with the KA3s, man. They've went to total shit as soon as all of them came out and they all shipped. The yield is just nothing, you know. So I don't want to see people out that kind of money. I wouldn't personally purchase that, but entirely up to you guys. Anyways, all right, we got to get out of here. Hopefully you guys have a great and happy weekend. I will try to stream tomorrow morning. I'm not entirely positive if I can. If I do, it's probably going to be the normal time, 8 o'clock, not 9. But yeah, we'll go from there. And anyways, without further ado, I got to leave you guys off with a great old Silk Road video. So have a good day. Happy Friday. Happy payday. I'll catch you guys real soon. Peace out.
to the moon on my Lambo or my Rolls Royce. Now I got these altcoins, they don't make the big noise, but they make the big rips. Call me crypto cowboy. Now I got my money on the blockchain. Hodl gang, hodl gang, hodl gang. Can't nobody stop my campaign. Hodl gang, hodl gang, hodl gang. Yeah, wish I could roll back time to that old Silk Road. I wanna hodl till I can't no more. I'm gonna add crypto to my portfolio. I wanna hodl till I can't no more. Backyard garage, solar powered area. Spend a lot of money trying to mine that Ethereum. Boy, I got a habit, I'ma bounce right back. And I'm addicted, I become a cryptomaniac. You see, I got no stocks and I got no gold. I'm all in, all I do is I buy crypto. Wish I could roll back time to that old Silk Road. I wanna hodl till I can't no more. Wish I could roll back time to that old Silk Road. I wanna hodl till I can't no more. I'm gonna add crypto to my portfolio. I wanna hodl till I can't no more.
Happy Friday, guys. Have a good day. Peace out.